Do you want to increase the amount of Chrono Crystals that you have on Dragon Ball Legends for free? If so, make sure not to go anywhere as we go through all the best ways to increase that Chrono Crystal count so you can use them for summons, equipment, and whatever you want to use them for. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe, and let's get into it. Alright then, so starting off, the best way to get CC for free, if you haven't already, is jumping into the menu and then going into story and grinding out all the stories and all the books and all the chapters and things like that. We have quite a lot at this point, so we are on part 14, and within that you've got quite a lot of different stages as well. So for completing each stage you do get 10 CC, and within each stage as well you have a certain amount of missions which give you 3 CC for completing all of these. And not only that, if you then jump into the missions and jump over to the specials tab, you can scroll down and go to the more legends missions with completing each challenges. So that's all of the missions within each stage of the main story. Every time you complete a certain number, you do get an additional 100 Chrono Crystals. So like I said, if you haven't already, that's one of the main ways to get free CC. And on top of these missions, if you go into events as well and into the Z missions, every time you complete one of the stages in the story for the first time, you do complete these additional missions where you get, on top of the original 10 CC that you get for completing the stage, you get another 10 CC for each of those. As you can see, I've completed a lot of stories recently, so we're going to accept all of them in this video. And there we go, we got all of them and a load of CC as well. Very nice, very nice. The story is a main way of doing it. On top of story modes, you can also jump into the events page where there's different events with different stages within it. Every time you complete one of these, you also get 10 Chrono Crystals. And very similarly with the story as well, you've also got different challenges. Each one that you complete in here, you do get 3 Chrono Crystals. Just keep an eye out within the events page because they do change them up every now and then. And you have others in the upgrade, you've got recommended, and you've also got the special tab as well. So like I said, make sure to grind all of them out. So one big way to get Chrono Crystals then is by completing the mission plans. You can actually do this either free to play, where you get a certain amount of Chrono Crystals, which we'll have a little look at in a second, or you can pay to get additional Chrono Crystals. It's only about £7 or £8 in my currency, so you can sort of have a little look on Google what that might be in your own one. And we do have 3 different mission plans, and they kind of go up in different stages of difficulty with different stages of rewards as well. So for example, if you're very much a beginner, you may choose Taking It Easy solo plan, where when you go into this, you complete certain missions which will give you not only some resources like training equipment and things like that as well, but it'll also give you points, and depending on the amount of points that you get, you go up certain grades where you get additional, once again, free Chrono Crystals, which you can see on the right hand side. On the left hand side is where you can get a premium plan, and you get those additional Chrono Crystals on top, depending on what stage you are throughout the actual mission plan. So starting off then, looking at this beginner plan, and assuming that you've completed all the missions, so you're at the total plan grade of number 7. If you were completely free to play and you haven't bought the actual premium plan, then you get a total of 200 Chrono Crystals. If you have bought the premium plan, you'll get that 200 crystals plus an additional 1,000. So you can see where it's quite handy to get some Chrono Crystals out of there. And then we go up to sort of like the medium sort of plan. Once again, very similar. You've got some missions you'll need to complete, and then you've got the plan grades once again going up to 7. On this particular one, once again, if you were completely free to play on this plan, you will get 400 Chrono Crystals. If you bought the premium plan as well, then you'll get an additional 1,200 Chrono Crystals. And very lastly then, the third plan, which is the one that I always choose because it's the best for the Chrono Crystals and other rewards, to be honest. Once again, assuming that you're on the total plan grade of number 7, if you're completely free to play, you get an additional 500 Chrono Crystals. If you bought the premium plan, which I often do, you get the 500 plus an additional 1,500 Chrono Crystals. So especially if you don't mind spending a little bit on the game, granted it can take a little bit of time, you've got to grind out a little bit, this is one of the best ways to get Chrono Crystals for your money as well, or even just free to play is a really good way. They will do these plans every 2 weeks, and it's a good way to build up your Chrono Crystals, especially at the time of filming this. We've got the anniversary coming up, so make sure to go in, get your plans, and grind out those missions as well. Another great way is by completing all your daily missions, and when you do that, you get an extra stamp on your daily stamp. So let's have a little look, and it does go over a 14-day span. And for the total of the 14 days, if you get a stamp for each day, remember it does reset every time that you miss a day with the daily missions, then you do get a total amount of 1,000 Chrono Crystals. So once again, make sure to log in and do your dailies every single day to get those Chrono Crystals. Let's keep going. Another good way of getting some free CC is the Battle Gauntlet. So not only do Zenkai Awaken characters, you can also get a maximum of 700 Chrono Crystals by completing all the stages. You basically go through 100 stages, and by the end of it, like I said, you do get 700 Chrono Crystals. And the best way to formulate your teams is to jump into the bonus battle characters and basically make as close enough team as you can using all of those characters with the best buffs. And you can actually do auto as well up until stage 80 by going into battle and then start battle, and it will give you the auto button. Everything after stage 80 you will have to do yourself, but like I said, it's a really good way to get Chrono Crystals even when you're not actually playing the game. You just stick it on auto and do something else in the meantime. Another good way to get some Chrono Crystals is jumping into the Tournament of Power. As you can see, once you're in the Tournament of Power and you get to the very last stage, you do get 300 Chrono Crystals for completing this, and depending on what rank you are as well, you can get some extra Chrono Crystals at the end of the season as well. Jumping into the information then, and it does give you the periods of the actual season, and it's roughly about 2 weeks. So you can also then go into the season details, and it shows the season rewards. Depending on the battle score that you get some Chrono Crystals up to 100 there, and also in the ranking rewards as well. Depending on what rank you are and where you are, you can get up to 1,000 Chrono Crystals each season. So once again, a very good thing to grind out and aim for the top. I also wanted to mention, in the exchange shop there are some shops that you can go into, like the Legends Battle Royale, where you can pick up some Chrono Crystals, and you can also go into things like the Hyper-Dimensional Co-op. As long as you're grinding out the actual exchange medals or the exchange items, then you can pick up some more Chrono Crystals as well. Nice quick one there, but make sure to go through the whole shop and see what Chrono Crystals you can get. As mentioned throughout the video, another good thing to jump into is the missions tab. So not only do you complete the different missions throughout different events, different stories, and the daily missions, as we've already talked about as well, you also have specific missions within the events tab. And if we scroll all the way down here, all the rest of these are to do with, like I said, the co-op, the events, the stories, and all that sort of stuff. But there's also Z missions as well. Within here you get extra Chrono Crystals by logging in. You also get it by upgrading different equipment, so you can re-upgrade different equipment and get Chrono Crystals out of there. And what you can't see on here, because I've already done it, and a very good way to actually get extra Chrono Crystals is completing the missions of soul boosting characters. Now it does have a cap on it, hence why it's not in my one, but make sure to soul boost as many characters as possible and you will get additional Chrono Crystals. I used to do it quite a lot to get nice, quick and easy Chrono Crystals, so bear that in mind. Very lastly then, if you've grinded out all the story, you've done all your missions, all the Tournament of Power, all that sort of good stuff as well, of course there is one more method we haven't talked about, and it is the complete opposite to free to play, and that is jumping into the shop where you can actually buy some Chrono Crystals. You do have some normal packs that you get, which are quite pricey, I would say, but I highly recommend that you wait for any sort of sales to come out, especially during the anniversaries and things like that as well. And they often do these mini step sales, which are actually relatively good value for money in comparison to the normal package, to be completely honest as well. And they've also got this happy weekend sale where you get 2,000 Chrono Crystals, multi-Z power for Legends Limited, energy and slot removers as well. So like I said, the best value for money is probably the battle plan, which you can get through here as well, and also the mini step sales. Outside of that, any sale packs that they got are probably the best ones. I try to avoid buying these packs, if I be honest. Like I said, they are very expensive for the amount of Chrono Crystals you get, but that is pretty much everything. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and let me know down in the comments how much Chrono Crystals you have saved at the moment and what's your best method. And until next time, I'll catch you later. Ciao.